Alright, hello guys, and welcome to my review of Superman 2025, made by James Gunn. So yep, I'd definitely say this film is definitely better than Man of Steel, I'll say it, yep. Better than most of the Marvel films we have right now. I don't know if I'd say it's better than Guardians 3, because that's like finishing like a lot of the character's story of the Guardians, where this film is like a start of a new universe, and it still feels like it's its own film. You don't feel like you have to continue afterwards. It's just a complete film. Obviously, it sets up things, but not in a way where you feel like you have to continue, but in a way where they just you're gonna see more from certain characters in the future, kind of way. Yeah, and the film, yeah, it's a great film, and I guess probably like because at first I'm just saying a few things before I get into spoilers, but yeah. So for a minute or two I'm just talking about non-spoilers, just giving my thoughts basically. But yeah, they make Superman a bit too weak, which yeah, let's just say it gets beat up a lot, and you probably already heard this a lot even in just non-spoiler reviews. Like he's probably like one of the more weaker Supermans, but I'm just happy that they at least get like his like what Superman's supposed to be like, not like moody and stuff like in Man of Steel and kinda Superman Returns, even though at some parts he's more like, you could say, cheery, but at the beginning of the film he's just like so moody for seeing Lois with someone else and stuff. But yeah, like he's just more like, I'd say more on the level of Christopher Reeves, Superman and Lois Superman, like those kind of Supermen, the true Superman in my opinion. Because I know there's some like Angry Joe who like the more actiony, moody Superman, I guess. That's what it just comes across. Because it seems like Angry Joe likes more like that kind of Superman, where I'm more like the great character development, human type of Superman, and that's why I loved Tobey's Spider-Man, because that's kind of basically what we got. We got a truly human story. Because yeah, he's a superhero, but he still goes for the same life problems as everyone else. And Superman, I guess you'd say he's a bit different, but he still has a normal job, like at the Daily Planet, which we get to see and stuff, yeah. And Lois, she's pretty good in this too, which I'll talk more about her in the spoilers. And then there's Lex, like, he's just, he's a great Lex, I'll definitely say that. He's one of the best now. Easily better than Jesse Eisenberg, who's a huge L, like probably the worst Lex we ever got. Who would say is worse after him? I mean, it's hard to say because most of the Lexes, like other than Jesse Eisenberg, are actually good, pretty good, to perfect. Like the Smallville one, which is my favorite. But yeah, he did a pretty good job for the type of Lex he played, which I'll get into spoilers about the kind of Lex he was. Yeah. But yeah, overall, the film was pretty good. Crypto was awesome. The dog. Yeah. Some of the other characters they had in the film, which I just. When I found out about this, I was like, oh, I just wanted a true solo film again, because it's been so long since I've got to actually see proper solo films again. And I just watched the Christopher Reeve films for the first time this year. Like, I watched the first one at the beginning of the year, and the sequels literally before watching this. Like Superman 2 and 3. Skipped 4 because from Chris Stuckman I just knew it was trash, so I skipped that. But yeah, I just basically, it made me wish we could get a truly solo film again. And I can at least say they focus more on Superman instead of just having a bunch of cameos like Dawn of Justice, Batman v Superman, that piece of trash. Which is probably some people who would like that film. It's just good to have a true solo film again, because look, Spider-Man Brand New Day is gonna have tons of cameos again. I just want a true solo film again, man. And at least they just focus mostly on Superman. Like, they don't have these other characters that just take up screen time a lot. I mean, they are there, but they're not like, they're kind of used to like show that obviously Superman is not going to be able to be everywhere all at once. There's going to have to be other heroes in the city, and that's kind of the way how they use them for the most part. And because there's only like one other character who actually goes more helping Superman in like the bigger stuff, like the bigger main stuff. But other than that, like, they're like, you could say they're more like background to like some of these other threats that are happening in the city. How he's taken on Lex Luthor and I guess his unit that attack Superman, yeah. But yeah, it's a solid film to me. It's probably like finally like a true good superhero film again. Because I know people love the Thunderbolts, but to me it's overrated. It's not that great, but it's a good film, but it's not that great. And then not the New Avengers, no. Fantastic Four, I'm not even really hyped for that. And it's not just because we've had so many bad Fantastic Four films, even though I have like a guilty pleasure for like the 2000s ones because I grew up with them. And then the one from the 2010s was just terrible. And then the 90s one just never even got released. So Fantastic Four have never really had a good time in movies compared to the animated shows and comics. But yeah, I'm just not really that hyped for it, but it'd be cool if it's just decent, but I just want more than decent at this point, and I feel like James Gunn can actually deliver more than decent, like actual great superhero films, because Guardians 3, like I've said many times, made me cry. And if he can actually build up this Superman well, because I do have a few flaws with this Superman, like I said, he's made him a bit weaker, but he still feels like a true Superman, something that, you know, Henry Cavill didn't really get to truly do. Because I feel like they could have did something where he starts off as more a broken Superman, but it slowly becomes more like the Superman we know and love, instead of just like breaking him down and down and down, and he never really becomes the true Superman we wanted to see, because he had the ability to do that, but the writers just wasted him. They wasted Henry Cavill. And alright, I'm just going to stop talking about spoilers now. I just want to get straight into the nitty gritty. So here we go. Spoilers starting now. So here we basically start the film with him beat up on the ground, and then Krypto comes, just all the same stuff we saw from the trailer, just a few extra scenes. The robots come to help him. He was basically in the big fight, and I guess his class is like the strongest superhero, but then you literally see him on the ground, defeated. And I guess it's the first time he's been defeated, and if you've watched the film, you know, you find out it's basically like a cloned Superman that's able to beat him, which makes sense why he has the same strength as him to be able to actually beat him, because I'm guessing no one else was able to beat Superman up until this point, and I guess Lex Luthor basically cloned him to actually achieve that. I guess all the fights they've had, he was able to get some of his DNA and clone him. And then I don't know what to think about what they do with the parents, you know, Superman's biological parents in this. It seems like they make him more, I don't know, evil. Cause that's one of James Gunn's things. He likes to make the parents evil, like Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, even though he's supposed to be a villain. But come on, Joel and stuff. Like, come on, and his mum, Superman's mum. Like, come on, you're making them villains. Like, he was sent to take over the world and enslave it. Like, it's flipping Omni-Man from, oh my god, Invincible. Like, bro. I mean, you could just say it was messed up by Lex Luthor, so we'll never truly know until like a future film that confirms it. Because I feel like they can't just leave it like this. They need to actually fully address if it actually was true or not. Like, they actually wanted Clark to rule the world or something. But to me, it's probably like Lex messed it up and something, and they just don't really give us a clear answer. And they don't really touch on it properly to give us a true answer. And even Clark doesn't really know what to think when he finds out. But Lex basically goes to the place to make Superman look like a villain, I guess. That's his goal in this film, and it made it look like he wanted to start a war, which Superman stopped. Yeah. And then you just see him at his job, and I feel like they kind of cut out some scenes where, because the trailers just ended up being a huge lie, because they made Superman look like he's going to be really sassy. It's actually just more like the true Superman I love instead, like the one who just takes insults and stuff. You know, stands up for the little guy and stuff. You know, that kind of character always finds the best in everyone, even if they're a complete asshole. Yeah. And then the Kents, I definitely said they're better in this than the ones we got in Man of Steel. I'd say the mum in Man of Steel was okay, but the dad, I did not like the dad, which I still need to make a Man of Steel review, because I'm basically uploading this first before my other reviews. So yeah, I'll give my opinions on that dad. But this dad, like, he was definitely way better. Had a really heartful moment before the end of the film, when Superman's healing after he escapes with what happens, which we'll get to. And yeah, Superman's just basically trying to start a war with a country. You see that Clark and Lois are together, and I really do like Lois in this. They do it really well, and I like how they actually give her like more of a role, which is working with Mr. Terrific, which Mr. Terrific is just awesome. Like, he's basically my favourite character in this film. And I don't know if that's actually a bad thing, because your favourite character in a Superman film should be, you know, Superman, because it's, you know, Superman. And yeah, that's the only issue. because like I said, they do him well, but I feel like they could have did him better. And this is only the first film, and then with Lex, like, they just make him so egotistic. Like, the definition of egotistic is literally insulting and calling people, like, literally some of the smartest people in human history stupid, like Einstein and stuff. It's just crazy. Like, his ego's just so crazy, and his hatred for Superman is just... This actor does such a good job with that. I mean, I just knew him as Beast in the X-Men prequel films, First Class and stuff. And I say he's probably surpassed that Beast role. And then you've got this chick who works with Lex. Like, the things she can do is crazy. And you've got this giant monster which Superman fights, and you kind of see the other meta-humans helping. Yeah, like the Green Lantern kind of guy, Hawk Girl. She's pretty cool. Like Mr. Terrific, the best one in my opinion. Basically, Superman wants to not kill it, but the others are just fine killing it because, you know, how else are you supposed to stop it? Yeah, and I guess one gets a bit annoyed with that, but yeah. And I like how you literally see Superman save a squirrel, which it shows the kind of Superman we're getting. And then Lex, since it's the social media era, I guess Lex uses that as a weapon to make Superman look like he's a villain by basically mixing up the message from Krypton, what his family sent, and making it sound like he was sent here to enslave the world. Make it look like he's a good guy to the point where he ends up taking over. Yeah, and then even this Green Lantern guy starts to attack him and stuff. Yeah, I like how they call him the Justice Gang or something, which is just such a bad name, instead of just Justice League, which it'll probably get to that point. And then the president of this country, you know, he's basically working with Lex. They're trying to like do their own plan. Yeah, which would kill millions. And you know, Superman, he's trying to do the best he can, but everyone's just viewing him as a villain. And I like how you actually get to see like the Justice Gang fighting like a monster outside while they're just having like a conversation with each other. Like that's some cool writing. Like, you just literally seeing them having like character work while there's literally a huge fight going on outside, and you just see Lois constantly looking at it. It's just funny. What a world we're going to be having, where you're literally having these character moments while the other heroes are doing their own thing. Yeah. And we'll probably have like a Justice League movie eventually, but I actually hope this time James Gunn actually takes his time and builds a good universe, because he easily could take over Marvel right now. Well, defeat Marvel, not take over. I mean, if you took over Marvel, man, you'd be looking good right now. I just hope this movie makes money. Also, Jimmy was a cool character in this. He basically gets information from one of Lex's girls, which I guess every Superman film with Lex, he always has like a dumbass girl beside him who's not fully loyal and ends up helping the hero. Yeah. But yeah, Superman ends up getting imprisoned because he just basically gives up himself, so no one else will get hurt or anything. Because that's what Lex will try and do. But he still kind of does that by literally killing someone in front of him that, you know, he saved, which is just brutal with a Magnum. He's like playing Russian roulette or something. Well, not Russian roulette, because Lex would be pointing at himself, like it's Squid Game or something. But yeah, Mr. Terrific, he's just hacking to find where Superman is. The others don't really want to help because they don't know if they can trust Superman. But Mr. Terrific ends up being the go and helping Lois. And Superman's kind of like stuck with a guy who has like the power to like form anything, I guess. And he basically forms kryptonite. But why would you put such a powerful meta-human in front of Superman? Because what if they decide to work together? Obviously they're going to escape, so even though they make it look like sometimes Lex is smart, they kind of make him a bit dumb too. Yeah. But yeah, Mr. Terrific in this scene when he finds where Clark's being hidden, because they have like these kind of portals that kind of possibly open up a black hole if they're not careful, which ends up actually happening by the end of the film. And I guess that was Lex's plan. Yeah. But yeah, they end up working together because I guess the guy who can turn into anything's kid is in danger, and Superman promises he can save him, while Mr. Terrific and Lois are kind of breaking in the place to help him. Yeah. And I'm guessing Krypto, he kind of got taken earlier, and you have a scene where Superman's pissed where Krypto is like, "Where's my dog?" And he's just like, "I don't know," while he's destroying his flipping place, and it makes Superman look even worse to the public. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like Lex is just pretty good in this. Yeah. And then, you know, they're able to escape. He's able to save Superman because he's super weak. I shouldn't say it like that, but come on. That's just the biggest flaw with this Superman. They make him a bit too weak. Like, come on, man. Even the one from Superman and Lois is a bit stronger because he was fighting flipping Doomsday. And if you put a good fight against Doomsday, I feel like he could easily beat a lot of the threats in this film. Yeah, because Doomsday is like the one of the highest threats Superman can fight. Literally a threat that can actually kill Superman. So yeah, I feel like he could do a good job in this film. And it seems like he was fighting for a long time too. The Superman and Lois Superman. So yeah, compared to just Justice League. Well, Dawn of Justice, whatever the hell I should call that film, that trash film, when they had their version of Doomsday, which looked nothing like Doomsday and actually killed Superman straight away, which is ridiculous. Like, who kills literally the main character of a universe in the second film? It's like killing Iron Man in either Iron Man 2 or something, which is so stupid, and then like maybe War Machine takes over it. That would be so stupid. Yeah, obviously they probably would get resurrected later, but come on. And yeah, this is the scene I was talking about. Really nice scene. Them just having that bonding experience. Because even though he's not sure if his biological family are bad people and wanted him to rule the world, he at least had a good upbringing with his family that adopted him, the Kents. Yeah, gave him a good childhood in life. Yeah, taught him right from wrong. And yeah, like the country is just basically in danger. They're calling for Superman. Like, there's just so many hopeful moments in this film. I mean, Superman's actually saving the day and trying to help people. It feels so good, and that's what true Superman is to me. Yeah, those kind of moments. Yeah, it's just funny having the shit guy from The Wire. Yeah, who's the guy in charge of the Daily Planet, I guess. Yeah, seeing the city getting destroyed by the black hole that's forming, and Superman just trying to help people and kicking some ass, like kicking Ultraman's ass, which you find out is actually a clone of him. Like, to put some shit on him, which is slowly killing him, but he has to go all the way to space to be able to get it off and defeat the foes that he's fighting. But I guess one of them get up, and it's kind of revealed that it's a clone of Superman. So it's basically like Superman. They basically took something from Superman 3, but instead of like, Superman's acting a bit evil at a bit of the film, and then it just comes out of him. But Lex just basically cloned him, and that's why there's literally something that can actually defeat Superman. Yeah. But instead of Superman actually being able to help these people, basically the Justice can help him. Yeah. So it kind of shows like the metahumans are kind of taking over, which Lex isn't happy about, and seeing that Superman basically is able to get up from the damage he took, and some of these people are out cold. Yeah. And then you got flipping Krypto helping out Superman when he's getting his ass kicked by his clone. Yeah. And then to me, he basically kills his clone, which, can you really complain? I don't know. I mean, it's a clone. It's not like something that was actually proper made, but it still was alive, I guess. But I just don't really care. I know some people would care, but after watching Superman 2 and watching Superman kill Zod, Non, and then Lois killing the woman, like, I really don't care. And I don't get why people complain so much about Man of Steel with killing Zod when Christopher Reeves was literally killing Zod and his people. Like, bro. But yeah. Superman's able to stop the black hole, and Lex just becomes super pissed, and then we literally get a Loki moment where Krypto just slams him around, which is just hilarious. It literally stole a scene from Avengers. Like, that's just perfect. Yeah. And everyone knows that Superman's innocent, and Lex is the real villain. Everyone's happy. Yeah. Clark's happy. Lex goes to prison. He ends up with that girl, since they basically work together to own Lex. And Lois has a moment with Superman. They fly up together and kiss. Superman's getting fixed up, and we kind of see a teaser of Supergirl, if I can even show her. The robots who got destroyed by Lex ended up getting fixed, I guess. And I guess Krypto ends up with Supergirl, so when we get her film, I guess we'll get to see more of Krypto, but with Supergirl. And it makes me wonder, like, this whole time, couldn't Supergirl have helped him instead of just being on some random planet drunk? Even though I thought Kryptonians can't really get drunk, but maybe in certain planets or something. Yeah, I don't know. And then you just end it with like a beautiful scene with all the memories he had with his adopted family, since he at least has them. And yeah, it's a great Superman film. It's really good, better than Man of Steel in my opinion. Easily Superman Returns, because that movie does have some high moments and good ideas, but the execution could have been better. Same with Man of Steel. And then the Superman 3, again, could have been executed way better. And then Superman 2, I think I'd still say that's my favourite because it's the funniest to watch. But actually showing like a proper true Superman with no flaws, apart from him being just weak, if you can even count that as a flaw. I feel like this is probably the most accurate one we've got in like a movie. And then to me the best one is the one in Superman and Lois, and then actually getting to see him fully develop through time, I guess Smallville. Yeah, there's just many ways. And then like if you just like the more actiony and dark Superman, I guess Man of Steel. The basically have one for like all types of people. I'm more of like a character person, like character development kind of Superman, so yeah, this just works pretty well for me. I think Angry Joe, I don't know if he likes this as much watching it for the second time. I'm probably going to watch this again next week or something, but yeah, I enjoyed it watching it in the cinemas. Yeah, satisfied. Now to watch some Dexter next too, which I'll be reviewing that later if I'm still awake after watching it. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. We'll be uploading this now. I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you can leave a like, and peace.